Hey there, this is Iman, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the first episode of the Real Estate Investors Lounge TV. And I'm excited, one, because this is the first episode, and two, because finally I've gotten Asia Denson of Denson Construction Services out of Detroit, Michigan. Now, for those who may not know, uh, Asia is a contractor, obviously a female, as we can see, which I think is wonderful. You don't very often see female contractors, and for those that are, female contractors, they're far and few in between. And so, Asia's contracting business was established back in 2010. Out of Detroit, Michigan. And so if you're looking for, to have your home remodeled, like a kitchen renovation or fixing damage to your home, they do that, as well as the commercial side of things. So, and everything in between, they do. So, Asia, why the contracting business? I'm sure, people, and if you don't mind, before you answer, I don't know if you want to disclose, but how old you are. That's the other wonderful thing I think is, what was that, Asia?
I don't care. I'm 33.
33. She's 33, has her own contracting business, and is a good contractor. And we all know, contractors have a nasty little reputation of being shady, and not, they're not reputable, they're not reliable, shysters, right, Asia?
Yeah.
So before you answer my next question, what was it about being a contractor that, about the contracting business that inspired you, so to speak, to get into that business, a male-dominated business at that?
It's a couple of things. One, I was a highway inspector engineer for a minute, so I always liked that because I'm outside. I got a great workout every day. You make great money. And then at first, when I was in college, I wanted to be an architect, so I've always been intrigued by construction in some way. And then, like, when I found out what it took to be an architect, I was like, screw that. I don't want to be that anymore because I didn't want my future to depend on somebody else. So basically, when you want to be an architect, you have to go get the degree or whatever, and then you have to study under a licensed architect for however long they feel you're ready to go take your architectural license test. So, yeah, that's not going to work for me. And then also my granddad, he was a big carpenter in Georgia and like Alabama, so that's really a lot where it comes from. Like he had a construction company when I was a kid, so and I remember helping them, and I didn't know really what the hell I was doing, but I was helping. So that's kind of probably mainly where it came from.
Right. So essentially, you were influenced by your grandfather.
Yeah.
For that, as it relates to the contracting business. So, what essentially was the process for you to establish yourself as a contractor? I must say also, Asia is licensed and insured, which is always, great and wonderful. You want a licensed and insured contractor, right? So what was the process for you getting into the contracting business?
Well, first I forgot to say on the first question that I also got into construction because I remember seeing, like, when I would come home from school, like, my mom would get quotes on stuff, and I just knew the shit was just, can we curse? I forgot to ask.
Be yourself.
Okay, cool, my bad. Yeah, but I forgot, like, she would get estimates, and I'm like, they just trying to get over on her, like, every time something would go wrong, oh, you need to fix this, you need to fix that, and it would just keep escalating. So that was another big reason, too, like, kind of for the older people and for the women, like, because a lot of women, they feel way more comfortable with me coming to get them the estimate some old big, bulky dude, because a lot of them are single parents, so,
right.
They don't like that. Oh, let's answer your other question. I started in 2010. First, I had a different name. It was AD Construction and Management. Then I
What was
changed
that,
up my
Asia?
It was AD Construction and Management. That was my first business name, and then I changed it to Denson Construction Services. I think in like 2011 or 12. One of them. I gotta look at the papers, but anyway. So I found out how to become an LLC by my ex-boyfriend at the time, friend. He had a computer tech company, like he repaired computers. He was like, "Well, it don't cost nothing," because I was asking around, and companies wanted to charge you like $400, $500, $600 to be an LLC, and I'm like, I'm smart. I know I can do this on my own. So he was like, "Yeah, you just gotta go downtown and assume your name. That's $25, and pay the LLC fee. It's like another $50 to $60. So you might be out of $100 total." Cool. So that's what I did, and I officially became an LLC. Then I started looking up stuff, and at the time I was going to Eastern to get my master's in construction management.
Is that
Because my
in Detroit?
yeah, well, Ypsilanti, Michigan, it was like basically online based. I had to go to class a couple of times, but it was a little bit of both. And the main reason why I got my master's when I decided I wanted to have a business is the issue that I've noticed among especially black contractors is we don't have our shit together. We don't have our paperwork together. And that's what separated me from the difference. Like, yeah, I know I can get people and get a license and find them how to do the work, but I need to learn this business side so I can separate myself from everybody else because you got all these other customers that have multi-million successful construction companies. I want to be there too one day. So what is it that I need to do to get there? So that's why I went to grad school and got the master's. So then after that, I was still working off and on as a contractor, engineer contractor for the state doing the road inspections and stuff. And then that work is only from April to like September because you know when it get cold you can't do highway work here. And I was independent, so like the last year I really worked was 2013, but 2 years prior to that we had got like a layoff in a sense, and then I found out because my boss at the time just threw a little bird in my ear, and then I was like, all right, let me save up, and then it got real bad the next year where I really wasn't working as much because remember I only worked April to September, October, so I got to work 12, 15-hour days and stack up and make it to the next season. And then like I only had like $3,000 in my name, and I was like, well, I'm not about to pay this mortgage no more on my house, so I'm gonna use this $3,000 to go get my license, and whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna step out on faith, and if it don't work, I got these 2 degrees now. I can always go get a damn job, and that's exactly what I did. So I was broke. I stopped paying my mortgage. I just pretty much walked away from my house. But Detroit, everybody was in foreclosure, so that's like the shit to do here. Like I know people who bought a house and the house across the street for $10,000, but owe $150,000 on that house. So I just stopped paying my bills. I don't think I paid my car note for like a year and a half. I just kept sending them like $100 a month because I know like I had bought what's that guy named Kevin Trudeau. He got a book out called Debt Cures that people don't know or something.
Right.
So I read the book and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know I could do this. He was like, as long as you send them a payment, they technically can't repo your car, especially if it's a smaller company. So I refinanced from GMC Financial to a local credit union because I'm like, they small, they can't afford this, so they can't just come repo me. So that's exactly what I did. And then I just only paid them $100 a month for like, about a year and a half. Like, fuck y'all. You can't come into my garage and physically take my car so long as I don't park outside. I'm good. Right. So that's exactly what I did. So I did that. I paid my utilities and internet. I got rid of cable, everything. The only thing I think I had was like Netflix. So I did that for a year and a half, and my house eventually sold on a short sale. And then they gave me like $3,000 to basically not fuck it up, because that's the norm in Detroit. Somebody foreclosed, they gonna leave the water running and it's cold and let everything freeze, and then it's ice skating ring in houses. I've seen that. Pretty cool, but So that happened, and then I ended up moving back in with my mom. So I pretty much got $4,000 total to get the hell out of my house, so don't mess with it. So the investor who bought it gave me $3,000 because I had a townhouse in a very nice part of Detroit, and then the bank gave me $1,000. So I was like, cool, I just do this, pay some bills, and that's what I did. So I stayed with my mom. It's like, yeah, I can move out now, but it's like, why I'm just gonna keep paying like my student loans down and stuff like that. And then after that, all right, maybe I'll move, but I ain't in no rush. She a cool roommate, I guess.
Right. So, what was I going to say was that, so, it was a little rough start in the beginning, financially.
Yeah, it was real hard. Like, my license, it took me 5 times to pass that damn test. And like, okay, when you go get your license in Detroit, Michigan now, you have to pay for a 2 week, 60-hour course. That's like almost $1,000. So this is where the $3,000 I say went to. I spent that. I think it was about $800 or something, and then the books you had to buy was like another $200, $300. So that's $1,000. Then to take the actual test is $295 for like Asia Denson to become licensed. Cause then and then your company name has to be licensed too. So that's now $600 to even just apply for the license. Then to take the actual test is $100. And every single time you fail, that's another $100. So that's $500 I had to spend on that damn test. The reason I kept failing, and it was simple because on the test is about houses. Now, mind you, I'm coming from highway construction. So
Right.
I'm applying highway concrete tactics to a house tactic, and the shit was all wrong. And that's the part, when I realized that's the part I kept messing up on the fifth time, that's when I passed it. So that's when my $3,000 went pretty much to my license.
So when did things, I guess, essentially start taking off for you in terms of, getting jobs and, clients and stuff like that? How long after, I guess, all the paperwork and licensing and stuff like that?
Let's see, the first year of 2012, I made like maybe almost $12,000 the business, but I was still working a job, so I was bullshitting. I didn't really take it serious. It was like, it's just a little side hustle. I did a few jobs here and there. That was that. And then 2013 was the last year I actually had a job. Another engineering firm that I used to contract to hired me full time for the summer. And then that year, I think that's the year I made the 11, 12 grand, 2012, 2013. 2014, I was used to being, I think like once you've been flat broke like that, it's like I can't do nothing but succeed. And then I was
Right.
with that mentality. I got to deal with a lot of people. I cut everybody off. Like, you ain't know what I'm trying to do. I ain't got time for you, and that's that. And then that's pretty much what I did. And my true friends, that still my friends to this, they know how I am. Like, once I set my mind to do something, they know, oh, y'all don't fucking matter right now. This is all that matters. I love y'all. Hope y'all good. We'll hang out when we hang out, and that's that. And so then the next year, 2014, I grossed like $136,000. I was like, oh shit, like this is working. Like, and the thing I think that really helps me get business is the one that my undergrad degree is in industrial engineering technology. So technology is my, that's my thing. So I use it to my advantage, and that's what separates me from a lot of other contractors in Michigan because a lot of my older men, they stubborn as hell. They don't want to change what they're doing to get more money, and that's what separates me. So what happens is pretty much they like, hey, I just want to work. Just me to work. All right, cool. So I take care of all of the business side for them, and they don't like that. Their paperwork not together. That's why a lot of them not licensed. And then in Michigan, you can sub out work to other contractors and stuff as long as your license, carries for them. But electricians and plumbers and HVAC, all of them have to be licensed and insured. But and that's why I don't team up with everybody because my ass is on the line, not yours. So I just keep myself small. And it's like, yeah, I want to expand, but my biggest fear is that I expand too fast and I don't still have the same, and I lose my quality.
Right.
And that's what separates me, I think, from other contractors. And then I had to tell one client the other day, like, I'm just not the contractor for you because I don't Jack Joe rig stuff, so to speak. Like, he wanted me to go in his house and do something to it that I knew wasn't right. Like, my thing is, like, if I can't fix it the right way, I'm just not going to touch it at all. And I lose a lot of money like that. My integrity stays good and my quality is good, and then the other clients come because of that. Or they'll be like, hey, you're too high. You're too damn cheap. And you to dealing with these unlicensed and uninsured contractors in Detroit that's just posting on Craigslist, working out their truck, or however they get money. I ain't mad, do you, but, you gonna pay me real juicy prices because, one, I'm black. I'm probably the only black contractor I know that charges real general contractor prices. Like, I charge the prices that all these other clusters in Detroit are charging. And they not really used to that because mostly the black contractor, they just charging just to get whatever they can get, and that be that, and that's not gonna work.
Right. So I have two questions for you. So you said from, what was it, I guess 2013 to 2014, I guess is where you, the spread on what you made was significantly more than the year prior. So why do you think that is? And to answer question number one, and secondly, why would someone come to you? Why should someone come to you, Asia, as seeking contracting services? And what, separates you aside from some of the things that you've already mentioned, from other contractors. So question number one, what was the difference? What do you think the deciding factor was? Was it the fact that you had more time and you weren't working, as an employee, so to speak, that allowed you to make more money in 2014, or what?
Basically, I was broke. Like, I was broke. Like, yeah, I had worked, that little summer, and I made, a couple $1,000, but it was like, shit, I'm broke. And yeah, I'm moving back. I knew I was about to move back with my mom. I moved back with my mom, like, April of 2014. So at that time, I was still at my house, but, I wasn't paying shit. I was just stacking money. Like, I didn't pay my association dues. I didn't pay shit. But light, gas, and Comcast. That's it.
Okay.
So I think that's the difference. I was broke, and I didn't want to be broke again.
Right. So you went from
my accountant, when he seen it, he was like, "What the fuck have you been doing? Like, you selling dope?" And I bust out laughing. I was like, "No, I ain't selling dope, but I ain't selling no damn dope. I like freedom." I was like, "Look, I got invoices, I got receipts." He's like, "Oh, okay, I just got that. That's a big jump." And then like 2015, I think I'm almost at like 148 grand, so I'm steadily growing. Not like I want, but I used to grow, so that's all I really care about.
So essentially, you just it was like, listen, I gotta eat. I mean, so what I'm hearing from you was that really was your mindset, your attitude, your grind, so to speak, that really took you from, I don't know, single digits to triple digits, correct?
Yeah, basically I was broke. I didn't want to be ever broke again like that. And my team was like, I'm just going to step out of faith and try this. If it doesn't work, at least I tried. And I don't ever want to have any regrets. And this is the best decision I ever made. I'm not recommending anybody else, to stop paying your stuff. But, that was my option at that time. And, I don't regret it.
Right. So, okay. So now the second question that I have for you, if someone who's watching this video interview is in need of contracting services in Detroit and the Detroit metro area, why should they choose you versus whoever, some big name contractor in the area?
I think the main reason why you should pick me is because why not, but seriously, one, communication. A lot of my clients I get because they dealt with bad, shitty ass contractors. Like, I had this one guy call me from Cali a couple weeks ago. He sent some contractor $100 grand, and when he flew out here to check on work, he ain't did shit. And I was like, I feel bad for you, but I don't feel bad for you because I charge an estimate now, and I've been doing it almost 2 years. This is the best decision I've ever made because, like, when I first started, I was out here, I just wanted work. I was trying to just get jobs. And then I got tired of people wasting my fucking time. And what made me start charging was it was a Sunday. I went to this chick's house at 6 o'clock at night. And when I sent her the bid, she was like, "Oh, I just wanted to see what you was going to charge, what my dad was going to do it for me." Like, what the fuck you called me for? You know what I'm saying? Sunday. Not to be watching The Walking Dead or something. Like, you called with this shit. And I was like, I'm charging $50. And then this year I went up to $75 because now I'm getting busier. But to answer your question in detail, I guess, and you should pick me one for communication, my quality, and even if I fuck up, I'm going to fix it because it's going to be on my head until it's done right. And then, like, I went to carpentry school, and the teacher I had, his name is KGB. He's a fucking man. He old school. He, like, in his 60s, and he drilled in us quality. Like, your work is going to stand out long before you do. Or, like, when somebody comes to, like, let's say a bathroom and you do, they were like, "Yeah, this bathroom is gorgeous. Who did it?" "Oh, girl, agent did it from so-and-so." And that's really how that works, especially from older clients. And then I cater to my clients, like, even if I have 10 other clients, you're like my number one client until this job is done. Like, my clients tell me the other day, like, if you get on my fucking nerves or all these emails, great, but you're going to hear from me. Like, I'm going to FaceTime you, Skype, Dropbox, you're going to see, like, my contract is 10 pages long for a reason. Like, you're going to hear from me from the beginning of that job to the end. As soon as that check clear, here come an email like, "All right, check has been received. We plan to start within this. This is what's going on. If any issues happen, you're going to know. Like, so I'm pretty much going to be on your fucking nerves. And I've had my clients tell me that, like, you get on my nerves with emails, but I love it.
Right.
Like, you get on their nerves. And you ain't even got to respond to my shit. I sent it. So you can't be like, I didn't know. It's not my fault you didn't read it.
Right.
But I think that's why you should take it. And plus, my mom helps me. Like, she's my cleaning lady. She's awesome.
Right. So essentially, I mean, what I hear you saying too is that, and which is, my philosophy as well. It's like, I don't care if you're, in your case, when it comes to contracting work, is that I don't care if you're, it's a $500 job or a $50,000 job. I treat both people the same. You make your clients feel important and special, and it shows in the quality of work that you do. Not only the quality of work that you do, but also, other ways with the communication. It's pretty much like white glove service. Handing them good quality work, and customer service, which is very important. On a silver platter. So,
yeah,
which
like my customer service is. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I haven't had one client. I had to give her money back. Like, she was being a real bitch, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to work this bad. I gave her money back. I just deducted of like what I spent or whatever, and gave it back to her.
Right.
And then she tried to lie, like, you forged my signature on the contract. I was like, oh, really? Let me call this restaurant that got video cameras that shows me and you in there talking on this day at this time when you signed the contract on my iPad. Never heard from her again. And that's another thing, like, being that I was on the highway, it made me you had to be very detail oriented in your write-up, like, on the highway. Like, when we inspected, we had to pretty much write daily reports about what happened. And my boss, he told me, he's like, always cover your ass. CYA, cover your ass, and I do that in my business. That's why you're going to get emails from me, text messages. I'm going to YouTube the house before and after. One client tried to say, oh, you broke this window. Oh, you bullshitting. Please refer to this link. You will see the window that you're in question of, and the shit was already broke before my ass started. Have a great day. Ain't heard nothing wrong.
So aside from, because typically, unfortunately with contractors, they'll, try to, fudge things and make stuff up. So you on the other side of the fence with it. Now you got clients, right, that are trying to make up stuff as to, you know what I'm saying? So that's crazy.
And I'm female and I'm stupid. And this is like on that house, like I wasn't a GC, I just did the carpentry work, and now I'm at the point now, if I don't have a whole house, I don't want it because your subs slowed me up, which made me go over contract. And then your subs did a shitty ass job. I mean, shitty job. And even if I'm not the full GC on the house, I can't finish my part till your plumbing, electrician, and HVAC is done. Because I'm a carpentry is the last thing. I can't close off no walls until this, shit is done. And then it was done wrong. Like, that house stressed me out. Like, and this is my thing. If a job is going to stress me out, I don't need it because this is my passion. Like, I love construction. So if you're going to stress me out, you're fucking money back.
Right.
This is what I would say.
Well, I that's admirable because, exactly. I mean, and that's where integrity comes in that, aside from the people that want to, kind of, act like, retards, but, to turn money away, because that, you're probably not the person for them. I mean, that takes integrity because, a lot of people could just be, they're just about the money. Like you said, you have a passion for construction, and, it's not good for you and it's not good for them. You're just not a good match. So my one last question about, you and your contracting business. So, what is it that you think, would you recommend or suggest to folks, that they look for? In a good contractor, such as yourself.
I say,
because everybody's not in Detroit. Everybody's not in Detroit, Asia. So that's watching this video.
Yeah, so. I mean, I come where you at. You just gonna pay for it.
Yeah, you want to come to Philly? You want to come to Philly and do some of my rehabs?
Yeah, I just gotta find out how to get licensed there, or when my Michigan license is still in there, and pay for it.
Hey, no, maybe we could talk off camera. So, but anyway, to answer the question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
What
question.
should someone look for in a good contractor? Because we all know
I
that
say of course look for.
we all know everybody in Detroit that's watching this video is going to use Denson Construction Services. But those who are not,
They better.
right, in Detroit, someplace like Philly, anywhere, what do you suggest that they look for in a contractor? Good
I would
contractor,
say
good
look for.
contractor.
I would say look for good. Make sure they licensed and insured because that matters. But I can kind of say it doesn't because I know some licensed and insured contractors that ain't
Right,
shit.
right.
And then I
A
know some
lot,
that's not licensed.
a lot.
Right.
Right.
Excuse me. And I know some contractors that's not licensed and insured, and they do amazing work. They just suck at the business side. So I think look for somebody that's going to pick up the damn phone. That's number one. Because I have gotten clients because they've called people several times and they don't return their calls. That's stupid to me. But whatever. Thank you very much. So definitely look for somebody that has great communication that's going to answer the phone when you call and return your call within a reasonable time. Now, don't call me at 12 o'clock and then at 12:10 cussing me out because I ain't called you back. I mean, give me for 48 hours. Come on. I mean, I respond on the weekend, whenever. So make sure they have good communication. Make sure they have some type of portfolio of their work, be it a website, pictures on their phone. But even the website and pictures don't matter because people will steal your shit all day and post it. If you can physically go see a job they have done, or that they're currently doing, I say definitely do that. That's how I interview my subs. They like, oh, I do this. All right, next time you got a job, let me see it, and I'm gonna come physically see you do this work, and we'll go from there. And then before you give a contractor maybe a super big job, start them off with something small just to see how they react to you. Like if it's something small like a clean out, to see how fast they do it and how they communicate with you that way. And then the other thing I would say to do, have a conversation with them, just like you fill out people when you're dating them. Hell, date your contractor in a sense, like a speed date, ask them certain questions, or just get a vibe for them. If you go out for coffee or something and see how they, just interact with you, and if you get a good vibe from them, your gut feel it tells you to go for it. That's pretty much what I would say.
Do you recommend that people, have you done this yourself where, you've given potential clients contact information of past clients to call them up and say, hey, I'm considering using Denson Construction Services to do some work for me. What was your experience like? Have you done that, Asia? And have you done it? And do you recommend the folks that are watching this video interview to do as well?
Yeah, I recommend that, but being that I'm such a tech person who does that now, like all my reviews are like on Angie's List and Yelp, and I think I got a couple on my Facebook page and stuff like that, or Instagram. So a lot of them will read that, but that's a great way too. But I figure like it's 2016, do something else. But yeah, but as long as you get some type of referral, something like that's fine. But a lot of my clients they'll just leave Yelp reviews and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. All right, great, excellent. I appreciate you, taking the time and coming out and sharing with the real estate investing community about what it is that you do, how you got started, some tips and recommendations for those of us who are watching this video interview. What to look for in a good contractor. What separates you, for those who are looking for contracting services in the Detroit metro area, from other contractors, and why they should use Denson Construction Services to do both small, mid-range and large jobs as well. So, and real quick, Asia, what was that?
No, I was going to say not super large because I tell people the truth. Like, if I can't do something, I tell them I can't do that.
Right.
So,
and I'm sure folks, right. Anybody, right. Something as simple as that, people can appreciate because, again, unfortunately in your industry, honesty is not something that people are, have the reputation of being very forthcoming.
My mom told me I'm too honest. She said I talk too much. I'm sorry.
Who says that? Who's this? Your
My
mom?
mom, she's like, you too honest. Yeah, she's like, you
Right,
talk too much.
right. So, well, hey, but it gets you far, and that's what makes you special, and what makes you stand out in your industry. So, and again, like I said before, wrapping up, I know that you're also you do some investing with real estate as well. So, how did you get started with that? Real quick before we wrap up.
I started wholesaling. I always watch HGTV DIY. Like my TV stay on there. That's pretty much all I watch. And I always watch Flip His House and the one with the guy out of Texas, something Armando or something.
Yeah,
And I was like, man, I can do
Armando
that.
Montalongo or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was like
Right.
the OG of flipping houses TV shows, and I used to watch him and stuff. And I was like, I can do that shit too. This is not that hard. And then at one point, I wanted to be a real estate agent too, so I kind of always kind of wanted to do something with it. And then I heard on the radio the Fortune Builders. They came to Detroit, I think in 2012. So I went to the free thing, and then I paid for the 3-day weekend course or whatever. And then I had got picked to be into the big uh, mastery program. I think you had to spend like 15 or 25 grand. And the crazy part about that is my mom, like she's awesome. My mom is the shit, man. Like, cause whatever me and my sister want to do, she supports. And she was like, you know what? If you need 25 grand, I'll give it to you. And I was like, damn, mom, I need 25 grand. And
Where were you when I got started with the contract?
and then, and not only that, I was like, Mama, where the fuck you get 25 grand from? And she's like,
Right,
don't worry. I'm like, okay. But
right.
anyway, but I didn't do it that way because I was like, being that Detroit is so cheap, if I got 25 grand, I'm not going to give it to y'all. I can go buy like 5 houses for 25 grand, especially in 2012. So I talked to them, was like, this ain't for me. I'm just going to do it my way and just figure it out. So what I did was I spent $1,000 on a Freedom Mentor wholesaling course, and I read through it and did it for about 6-7 months. And then I got my first deal like maybe 7 to 8 months after I bought the course because I'm the type of person after I read so much, it's like, all right, enough of that shit. I need to go do it. And so I just did it. And I got my first deal from actually one of my subcontractors. He got rental properties. He let me sell it for him. And the lady found me on Craigslist. And so I got my first deal. Me and her are like good friends now. So that worked out.
Right.
That's
So
how I
yes,
started with
I
that.
think that's awesome that because you have the knowledge base and experience with construction, and I can, if I can eyeball a property now just because I've been doing it so long, roughly what it's going to take to rehab it. But I mean, know the ins and outs of that. So to marry those two, the investing side of things along with what it's going to take to rehab the property, it's definitely an advantage for you. I mean, from the door for you. So, where somebody else, starting out, it's like, trial and error. So the last, I do have one more question. Actually, I had two, and it escapes me what, what the other question was. I often see you, Asia, on social media. You talk often about Detroit being the big, great comeback story, right? So for those who are watching, who may know a little bit, or may know a lot about investing in Detroit. Could you share with everybody, why is it that you think that the Detroit market is a good market to buy real estate, invest in real estate?
Uh, the main reason I would say, like, when the market crashed here in Detroit, like, we got hit bad because Detroit is a very big industrial city, well, Michigan in general. So, in order to make good money here, you don't really need you need just a GED or a trade school or high school education. So, those people went from making, let's say, 150 grand a year to like 40 or 50. So, of course, when you ball and you go out here and you buy all these stuff, you really can't afford because if it weren't for all that overtime, you probably couldn't make it. And then even though the market crashed bad in Detroit, the rent stayed the same. So let's say you buy a house for 10, 15 grand and you put another 10 grand into it, you only out of $25,000, but you can still rent that house out for between 700 to 1,500 a month, depending on the
Mm.
neighborhood and the bedrooms and the bathroom. And that's what really attracts people here. I've met people who moved here from Utah and Cali because for a Detroit style bungalow here cost you like that same 25 grand cost you $400,000 or $500,000 in Cali. And I was like, are you shitting me? That's stupid.
Right.
If you give me 400 grand, I could buy probably half of the east side of Detroit. Seriously, with 400 grand, I probably couldn't rehab it, but I could at
Right.
least acquire the property.
Right. You can
And
hold
that's
it.
right. I can at least hold it, and then when I get some more money, I can tear it down and do something to the land later. You know, but I mean that's
Right.
crazy. But I think that's one of the big reasons you should invest here. And then Detroit is an old historical city. You know, we have a lot of culture here. You have all different kind of people here, and you talking about some good ass food. Like because of all the different cultures, you got great food. And then on top of that, I think you should invest here because I think we're one of the oldest cities with the most brick houses. And you know, I prefer brick over frame any day. You know, frame houses are great too because they're cheaper, so you can buy it in a brick. But a brick house, you can gut it to the studs and it's gonna still be solid. And you know, put it back together. So I
Well,
would
we
say the
have that
main
here in
reason.
Philly too. I mean, you know, row houses, they're all brick. And for a very, very, very long, very, very long time. So,
Yeah, like I done been in some houses and we gutted them. They got newspaper in the wall for insulation. This shit is so cool, but so inefficient. So, but you know, it's kind of cool. I would definitely say because of the high rent, low property acquisition price. The only thing
right,
is, keep in mind when you got in Detroit, these houses are old as shit, like early 1900s to
right. Same
maybe
here.
mid 1950s. Yeah, you gotta fix them up, and then with Detroit or probably any other place when you're a contractor, like once you go into a house and you pull that permit, whatever the hell is wrong with that house, they gonna make your ass fix it.
Right,
So if there was something in there that was jack lead, which it probably is because nobody really hires like the contractors in Detroit that look like me. They always hire a cousin or somebody else and they do a horrible job and I gotta come behind them and fix it. That city is gonna make you fix it. Or if you don't pay me to fix it, you're gonna still owe me what you owe me, and they'll release my permit, and now you can't do whatever you need to do to go forward. So a lot of people got to keep that in mind too when they buy these houses. Like it's still going to need major rehab because they're old. They've been sitting there vacant for who knows how many years, and all the weather and everything that came in there. Squatters might have been in there. They might have came in there and stripped it because all these houses got copper in them. So,
right,
you know, you gotta keep that in mind too with your cost. And then now that Detroit is like becoming the shit again, prices are going up. Like 2008 to 2012 or 13, you could buy a house for $500 to $5 grand. But price I think done went up like 60 some %. I bought a house for $5 grand before. A
well,
nice
yeah,
house,
we
like I
can.
was gonna live in it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's the same here, but I understand what you're saying. You know, why that. You know, why that is probably mind-boggling in Detroit. You know what I mean? Just for because of what happened and all that type of stuff. So. But yeah, because I saw something you posted recently. I think a developer or something was he buying a whole block or something like that? Did you
Yes, a
post?
couple developers.
I saw
Yeah,
some
it's a
probably the
couple
last few days. I
in
think
town,
you
I think.
yeah you posted something like that. So,
Yes, a
but
couple developers that came here and they just developing like crazy. It's like I just can't wait till they spread into the neighborhoods. It's like they're focusing on downtown and midtown. Now they're
right,
spreading in the court town, but the north end. I grew up in the north end. That shit is the slums right now. But you could buy over there dirt cheap, and then the stuff that's coming over there is crazy. It's like, don't y'all see what I see? So I'm trying to get houses over there now. Like I done bought houses for $600 and $700 for people. They had like 8 grand in back taxes on it. I don't give a fuck. Sign this deed. Here go your check. Have a great day. And then just go get on the payment plan and just
right,
pay on it,
right,
or I
absolutely,
sell it.
absolutely. So okay, so all right, for those of you who are in need and want contracting services in need of a contractor, how do folks get in contact with you, Asia? Could you give a phone number and could you repeat it twice as well?
Okay. My number is 313-288-8051. That's 313-288-8051. I have a website. That's www.dcsllc.pro, Or if you just Google Denson Construction Services, all my stuff will pop up too. So.
Okay. And for those who are interested in investing in Detroit, how do they get in contact with you as well?
Same number.
Same number?
I probably should separate that eventually, but right now it's the same number.
Right, okay. Okay, awesome. So, thank you, Asia. I appreciate you, taking the time out to do this video interview and sharing with the investing community. Contracting services is definitely, something, definitely part of the real estate investing community. For those who rehab properties, both people who strictly rehab, and people who own rentals. I mean, they all need repair work, right? And, for the average homeowner, they need repair work as well. So I appreciate you taking time out and sharing with us and everyone about what it is that you do and why folks who live in Detroit should call up Asia at Denson Construction Services and hire her to, do whatever work that you need to do on your investment properties or, just your personal residence. And if you, are looking to invest in Detroit, she's your woman too, and she's good at what she does. I definitely stand behind her. Of course, I wouldn't have her in this video interview if she wasn't. So you can trust and believe that. So again, thank you. This concludes the first episode of the Real Estate Investors Lounge TV. And the website is the realestateInvestorsLoungeTV.com. We are currently under construction. For those who are going to be seeing this, and you go to the website and you're like, hey, what's going on? But it's currently under construction, so, be patient and bear with me. And also YouTube as well. You can also go to YouTube as well. And for future videos, the channel and things like that. So anyway, thank you, folks. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.